What? I'm not that ugly. I mean, I step on the stage and somebody's like, oh, hell no. It's weird. I know, it's true. Hey, hi everyone, how are we all doing today? No, not good? Okay. All right, let's go home then. It's cool. This to me feels very much like teaching a class when like the person starts talking and like all the students are like, man, that's not important, we'll just keep talking. Which would tend to get someone in trouble, which coincidentally is the theme of this event. No? Okay, no reaction. Cool, that's good. All right, I like one snap. Hey, so I'm gonna get out of your way because this really isn't about me. Welcome everybody to the inaugural Madison High School Story Slam. Can we like clap for that? Okay, cool. Or snap if you're about it. Save your snaps. Save it for the poetry slam. We'll talk about that shortly. So I am Maurice Cowley. I teach here. I teach freshman English. So maybe like a third of you had me last year, and some of you had me the years before that, and like a bunch of you right here have me right now. I'm looking at you, Nazra. What's up, girl? Cool. So we have a pretty stellar event here for you today. Quick thank you to all of the judges who are here, all of the people who signed up to tell their stories, and all of the teachers who have worked to make this possible, to support our students in the writing of their stories and telling of life experiences that have helped shape us into who we are. And again, a lot of that happens when we're in trouble. If you don't know what it is you're about to see, the Story Slam, it's a live storytelling event. Contestants who have spent hours of their time composing a story will stand before you and talk for 5 minutes, telling you giving you a little glimpse into who they are. And all of these stories are true, which is pretty amazing. And they are on the theme of trouble. And as we go, there's a cute little fishbowl that people have kind of, put all of their little names in to say they're going to compete. And I'm going to like draw them out. It'll be cute. You'll love it. Yeah?
We're not even going to notice you.
No? Oh, okay. Or you're not going to notice me because, again, it's all about y'all, the storytellers. We're about to jumping on introducing you to the judges, but I'm going to ask you a couple of things. The first is that these folks who are going to be in front of you, again, have worked really hard to prepare. So we're going to take out all of our cellular devices. They tend to look like this. Or, this is like, mine is pretty broken. But make sure all of your sounds are off. Like that one's beautiful. Turn off all your sounds, because there's nothing worse than being in the middle of telling a story and hearing somebody's phone ring. Snapchat is important, but it gets... No clapping? Okay. It's an important job. Miguel is a graduate of PSU MFA program, a producer and sometimes host at X-Ray FM. His writing appears in Nothing, a real zine, and his photography can be seen online at Broken and Coastal, a real magazine. He writes fiction, so not the stuff you're going to hear today. This is all like nonfiction. No more? Okay. So our next judge, Marcia Truman. Yay, that person. Marcia's bio is probably the cutest thing. Her one claim to fame is that she is a distant cousin of Emily Dickinson, which she discovered through Ancestry.com. Yay, internet. That's cute. I like it. Our next judge, Jelana Summers. Holla. Jelana graduated from Madison in the year 2014. She is now back as a college advocate mentor. She currently attends Portland State University and is working on a bachelor's degree in child, youth, and family studies. Jelana loves the Portland Trailblazers. Oh, yeah. Go Dame. No? Dame's an all-star. I don't know if you know that. And then our last judge is Donovan Smith. No? Okay. We're getting better at this clapping thing. He is an award-winning journalist from Portland. He has contributed to the Oregonian and been a staff reporter for The Scanner and Portland Observer, often focusing on Black entrepreneurship, arts, gentrification, and police accountability. His brand of clothing, Ignorant Reflections, uses provocative images and creative engagement to spark to spark critical thinking. His favorite movie is Kill Bill. Volume 1 or 2? Both? Both? Okay. You can't have 2 without 1, and 1 is incomplete without 2, so just Kill Bill. Cool, so those are our judges, and they have a really... Kill Bill, Volume 1 and 2. Okay, we good? Good. Is everyone taking notes? There will be a quiz later. Favorite movie, Kill Bill. Don't play? 4th period, this is gonna be the thing. Wait, there's a fishbowl. I'm gonna go get our storyteller. Drop my pencil. Hey, this is one more person to thank, Nancy Sullivan, the librarian. Thank you. Nancy works tirelessly to make events like this happen, so there's that. All right, enough of me. Let's hear some stories, shall we? Hey, this is a lot more than 2 people. How about that? Give it up for bravery. Oh, fun. Our first storyteller of the day is the marvelous Anna Cabello.
Thank you. I think it's good. Okay. It's the summer before I enter 1st grade, and I'm visiting my grandparents. My parents will soon join me later that summer when they make the move from Wisconsin to Oregon. And I'm sitting at the dining table eating whole grain cereal, which I hate. I hate whole grain cereal, and my grandmother makes me eat it because she likes to make me eat superfoods and quinoa, which is spelled with a Q, not a K. And she's next to me in the kitchen doing her little Italy, kneading the bread, making the sauce for dinner. And my grandfather's in the back, and he's like oddly buff for a 60-something-year-old man. Like, I mean ripped. So he's in the back with a cigar hanging out of his mouth, doing some reps. And I'm just sitting eating my cereal begrudgingly. And then I look out to my right, and there's a van parked outside, not an ice cream truck. And in yellow lettering, it says FBI. And I think danger. So I tell my grandmother, and she rushes over, and her face just pales, and her eyes go comically wide, and she Hulk grips my arm and drags me to the computer room to distract me. And she puts on this kids typing game with the world's most annoying music, and it's not even really booted up when a bomb sounds from the front of the house. It's not a bomb. It wasn't a bomb. It was the FBI kicking down our door. And much like National Geographic, when you see those specials and the wildebeest stampeding, that's the sound of their footsteps coming down the hallway. This man comes in, and he has this thick Neanderthal brow, and his head was so bald you could shine it up just right and see your reflection through it. And he's decked out in full-on riot gear and a gun the size of me, and his first command was to get to the living room. And I'm like, whoa. And my grandmother, of course, comes to my defense and says, no, leave her here, she's fine, she's only like 4. But he's so angry, so vividly upset at us that we are like, okay, we're not gonna piss this guy off, we're just gonna go right along. So we go to the living room and my grandfather's there, and his hands are cuffed behind his back, and this guy takes my wrist and puts a too cold, too tight skin-pinching cuff around my wrist and attaches it to my grandmother's. And at this point, I'm sobbing. I can't see, I can't think, I can't feel, I can't breathe, there's snot running down my face, and I can taste it and it's tacky in my mouth. And I've never been in a tornado, but what they were doing looked like one. Books were being ripped apart page by page, electronics were being bashed, and whatever they were looking for, they couldn't find. And eventually, we go to the back room. My grandparents are separated, and they're taking different sides of the story. And I'm sitting there, and the shrimpiest guy in the FBI team comes up, and he's like, hey there, champ, how you doing? Like, I'm just having the greatest time of my life. And then he does the unthinkable. He pulls out a grape lollipop. And much like whole grain cereal, I hate grape lollipops. But I am so lacking of comfort right now that I take it and I rip off the sucker, wrapper and I put it in my mouth and I'm comfort at last. And then my grandmother's soft hand comes up and holds the sucker stick and rips it out of my mouth, and it stings my teeth as it hits. And I look at her and she looks at me and she's like, now is not the time. And I'm like, now is not the time for a grape sucker in the middle of an FBI raid. And I've never seen her so angry, so mad at me. She was just this soft old woman who was my grandmother, but I guess not. And after that, everything gets blurred and muddled together, and I don't really remember, but it's 13 years later, and my grandfather's in jail, and I won't see him until I'm 27, and my grandmother's already done her time. That summer, I was the alibi. My grandmother took me to the zoo, and my grandfather stole $3 million from an armored car. I know, pretty impressive. No, but in all seriousness, that's a really shitty thing to put a child through at that age, or at any age in general. And I felt so disposable, like a pawn in their game, that, I could just be washed away like that. And I'm not telling the story because I want your sympathy, or I want you to come up and say, I'm so sorry for you and what you went through. This is for me, and despite all the trouble they got in, and despite everything they put me and my family through, I came out okay, and this story is what makes me, me, and that's enough. Thank you.
That was great. I feel you on those grape lollipops, though. Grape flavored anything is not the business. Hey, so you're gonna have to bear with me a little bit. This is the first time I've ever emceed a story slam, and I kind of forgot a very important piece of information, especially if you're a storyteller. All of our storytellers have 5 minutes to tell their story, and it's really hard to tell a story and concentrate on, wait, how long have I been here? So we have a handy dandy tool for them. His name is Oscar. What, you want to wave, Oscar? Oh, Oscar doesn't want to wave. But Oscar is holding a 5-minute timer, so if you're up here and you're telling your story and how much time do I have? Just look at Oscar and your eyes will be rewarded with something quite marvelous.
And at 5 minutes?
And at 5 minutes, you get to hear a sound. Like a Harry Potter wand.
There's supposed to be a sound.
Womp, womp, womp. Hey, we don't have any batteries for the sound. I know. That's good. Whoever said that was clever. Cute. Okay.
Anyway, I'll wave it on.
Irregardlessly, which is not a word. BT dubs. Let's get back to the storytelling, shall we? What is it with people named Bella? Bella Rothstein, you're up. Let's go. All of the Bellas, just knock them all out. Womp. Ooh, who put Bella's name in here? Okay. This is how we're gonna. Hold on. Pause. I got you. Here's how we're gonna approach this situation. Somebody put Bella's name in here, so we're gonna let Bella think about this for a minute. Maybe she'll come up later. Maybe she won't. But don't do your friends like that. That's scandalous. All right, everyone. Our next storyteller, much like Prince, does not have a last name. Let's welcome Duncan to the stage.
Yeah. So, I didn't prepare nothing. Well, I'm just going to tell you guys about some stuff that happened last year, and hopefully you're going to like it. So, for the past 2 years of high school, I'm a junior. I went to a boarding school in Michigan. It's called Interlochen. It's an arts boarding school. I was a dancer there. I did ballet. And I try to stay out of trouble as much as I can, but I don't know, somehow it seems to follow me around. I don't know what's going on. So, it was Cinco de Mayo. It was Cinco de Mayo last year. I was going back to my room to take a nap because I had just eaten a fat Sammy and I wanted to lie down before I had to go do some ballet. And then they were like, hey Duncan, now you're tired, but we need to see you in this back room for a second. And so I went in the back room for a second, and they were like, you're going to stay here, and you're going to talk to all of the administration and the president of this school about all these things that everyone's saying that you're doing on campus. And I was like, shit. Okay, let's do it. I'm ready. So they talked to me, and while they were talking to me, forgot to mention, as much as this story is about the tremendous amount of stress I was in, it is also about the largest personal rights violation I've ever endured. So while I was talking to them in that back office of my dorm, they were tearing apart my room. Piece by piece, they pulled my bed away from the wall, they took all of my books and put them on the ground. All of my possessions were scattered all over my room so that they could find things that they wanted to find in my room so that they could get me in trouble. But they didn't find anything. And so then they're like, all right, we didn't find anything in your room, but we still don't trust you because, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm Jewish or something. I'm not trying to, but, so they were like, we're going to drug test you. I was like, all right, that's fine with me. So they drug tested me, and I pissed perfectly clean. Yeah. That's what they call me, perfectly clean Duncan. So they drug tested me and I pissed clean, and I was like, awesome, thank you, this has all been resolved, let's go home, hallelujah. And they're like, hold on, one more thing, we want to check your phone. I didn't want them to check my phone. I'm not like a bad person or anything, but why would I want them to check my phone? That's where all my stuff is, you know? But they did it anyway. They took my phone, and I sat in my counselor's office for 6 hours while they took all the information and downloaded it onto their fancy computers. And I just sat there, stressed. I probably cried. I honestly don't really remember. It was terrible. Because this school, it's expensive and it's hard to get into, and I was there on a pretty generous scholarship. It was handed to me by a Yale professor. Don't want to let that person down. But and so they check my phone and they call me in and they're like, all right, here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna be dormed in your room for 1 day. It's like, that's not that bad. All right, I'm gonna have to be basically trapped in my room. How much time did I have left? Thank you, Oscar, my handy dandy friend. So I was trapped in my room for 1 day, but it wasn't that bad. I got to go see a jazz concert that was going on at the school. It was pretty cool. And then they're like, awesome, Duncan, your 1 day is up. Now we're gonna expel you. So I was like, oh, damn, nice. And I was really sad because at this point, the school was pretty much my entire life. It's in the woods of northern Michigan. I had endured a lot of snow so I could stay there. But they were like, no, you're going home. You're going to keep dancing? And I was like, probably not. This is the only thing tying me to this. So they sent me home, and I came back to Portland. But luckily, I had some awesome friends in Portland, and they integrated me into Madison, and now I am so much happier than I could have been at that terrible school.
Duncan, thanks for telling us your story. We have an offer of friendship from somewhere over here, so... Oh yeah, cool, we can be buddies. C14, see you later. There was something else I wanted to tell you all.
Next person.
Now maybe we'll just move on to the next person.
Good job.
We have like 3 of them left. So extra? I'm not extra, it's my job.
You're excellent.
Someone is, I think you might be disappointed on that. But while you wait for Bella's story, how about we hear Emma O'Brien's story?
Okay, so, wait. Okay, we're good. Okay, so, like, the point of the story is if my parents see this, I'm going to get in a lot more trouble than I already was in, so, like, I don't know. We're just going to go for it. Okay, so during winter break, my parents went out of town to Hawaii. I was invited, but I couldn't go because of volleyball, so I was home alone for, like, 2 weeks straight. And I was just chilling, and, like, I wasn't supposed to have friends over, but, like, It was fine. Like, it didn't even matter that much. Like, me and my, like, 5 of my friends went to go see a concert together, and it was, like, chilling. Like, we came back to my house. It was, like, 10:30. Like, half the people left. And, like, we were just hanging out, and we were like, okay, like, we're really hungry. And, like, I live in Alberta, so, like, we usually just go out there and get some food and stuff. But it was, like, 10:30 at this point. Everything was closed. So we're like, oh, like, what can we do? And, like, I look down, and I see my parents' car keys that they left because they flew. And then I look up, and I see my friend's, like, license hanging out the back of her phone. I was like, okay, like, here we go. So we pretty much, like, we're walking out to the car, and, like, I'm really sussed out because all my neighbors are snitches. Like, that sounds bad, but, like, every time I have anyone over, even if my parents are home, they call my parents. And it's, like, it's not a fun thing. And you guys are probably judging me for this, but, like, I don't even care. Like, we got in my car, and we were being, like, super quiet. Like, we snuck out the back of my house so my parents, like, so my neighbors, like, wouldn't snitch on us. And we get in my car, and we're like, okay, like, it's fine. I left my phone at home. It was, like, at this point, it was, like 1-ish. So, like, my parents wouldn't be sussed if I wasn't answering the phone and it said that I was at home. Like, right? Okay. So we get in the car, like, my phone's at home. I called my brother because he's supposed to be looking after me, and, like, he's really chill. Like, he pretty much lets me do things, but, like, he's, like, still, like, an authority figure-ish. And so I was like, okay, like, this is what I'm doing. Like, how stupid is it? Like, he's like, just don't crash it. Like, you're fine. I'm like, okay, then, yeah. And I'm like, I'm not bringing my phone because I don't want mom and dad to catch me. So, like, I'm giving you Piper's number. Like, if you need to contact me, this is Piper's number. Different Piper. She doesn't go here. You don't link that. But, like, I'm being serious. So we get in the car, and we're going to Taco Bell, okay? And my friend is, like, navigating on her phone, and we're driving and stuff. And she's literally, like, I don't mean to cuss, but she's such a dumbass. She put the, like, walk button instead of the drive, so we turned down a one-way street in my parents' car going the opposite way, and we're literally, like, driving, and I'm sitting there, and I'm, like, flipping my, like, stuff, I guess, and, like, I'm flipping out, and I'm like, okay, like, what is going on? Like, we have to turn around. And my friend just got, like, her, like, 6 months pass where she can drive us, so she's, like, a really new driver, and she has really bad anxiety, so she was sitting there, and she was, like, hyperventilating. I'm like, why are you freaking out? Like, just turn the car around. And it was, like, all bad, but we turned the car around. We didn't crash. That's not the end of the story. So we go to Taco Bell, we get all our stuff, and, like, we're fine. We're like, okay, like, it's okay. Like, my parents aren't going to catch us. Like, why don't we make a night out of it, you know? Because, like, why not? And so we're driving. We're like, we're going to go down to the docks and just, like, hang out and, like, then maybe go downtown and do some stuff like that. Like, it'll be fine. And so we're going downtown, or we're going to the docks, and, like, there's a lot of glass by the docks, and I forgot to bring shoes because, like, I didn't think about it. Like, I don't know. I just wasn't wearing shoes. And so, like, I got these, like, shirts from the back of my mom's car and, like, wrapped them around my not my shoes, my feet. And so I wouldn't step on glass, and I was walking, and I was, like, running to catch up with my friends, and then one of the shirt fell off, and I, like, stepped on a small piece of glass, but it was fine. And then as I'm, like, looking at my foot, my friend was like, oh, Dylan's calling. That's my brother, by the way. And so, like, I'm like, okay, like, so I pick up the phone. He's like, Emma, where the fuck are you? I'm like, I'm at the docks right now. Like, what's up? He's like, mom and dad are freaking out. I'm like, why are they freaking out if it says I'm at home at 1 a.m., not answering my phone, like, I'm asleep? He's like, they think something's up, like, they want me to go home and check on you. I'm like, just say I'm asleep, like, it's fine. He's like, no, they're freaking out. They're going to call the cops. I'm like, what? So I'm like, okay, now I'm, like, hyperventilating and shit because, like, obviously I'm really anxious because I don't want to get caught because it's not like I'm just out. I'm also in my parents' car and I'm out. So I'm like, we get back in the car. I'm, like, freaking out, and, like, we're driving, and, okay, it starts raining, and my friend couldn't find the windshield wipers. So we're driving down the highway by Lloyd, and we don't know what's going on because she can't see. So we get out. I'm wearing shirts on my feet. I, like, wipe down the car. I get back in. I'm still hyperventilating. My brother calls me again. He's like, they're calling the neighbors. They're going to check on you. They think you're dead. I'm like, what? Like, what is going on? So I was like, oh my God. So I'm like, he's like, you just have to call them. Like, the neighbors are, like, all going. They're like, they woke up Dara, which is my neighbor next door. Like, you just have to call them. And I was like, fuck. Because we were still, like, 10 minutes away from home, and, like, I wasn't going to get there in time, and my neighbors would see me get out and get back in. So I call my dad on Piper's phone. He's like, I answer, and it's, like, silent for 10 seconds. He's like, what the fuck? I'm like, was like, oh, hi, Dad. Like, what's up? He was like, are you kidding me right now? Where are you? You're supposed to be home. Like, you're not supposed to be with people. Why are you calling me on Piper's phone? And I was like, so my friend came and picked me up and went to Taco Bell. Just so you know, they still don't know it was in their car, and they still don't know I had people over. So if there's a way to block them from seeing this on YouTube, that would be nice. So pretty much, like, I called him and he's like, okay, like, you just need to get home and call me once you get home. So I get home, we talk, and he's like screaming at me and stuff. And they're coming back from Hawaii in 2 days, and pretty much I'm on like house arrest for the next 2 days, but like it doesn't even matter. Like, I'm still doing stuff because like they're not gonna find out. And they actually didn't. But like, so they get home 2 days later, and like, my brother went to pick them up from the airport, and like I didn't want to be in the car with them, so I was like waiting at home. And my dad walks like in the front door, and like he's like a really tall guy, like obviously, and like he walks in, and like he never walks like he like did some like weird like sumo pose, but like he wasn't trying to, like he tried to be like all macho and stuff. And so he like stands there, and I'm like just like dead silent, and he doesn't say anything. He just sits down, and like we don't talk for like 10 minutes, and I'm like, what is gonna happen? Like, what's going on? And like, it's been like 20 minutes at this point, so I kind of reached and grabbed my phone. He's like, don't touch that. I'm like, okay, cool. So in the end, I ended up being grounded for 2 weeks to a month. But that's probably gonna be a lot more if they find out the rest of this. So we're just gonna hope, like, just if you're planning to send an email out, who's ever in charge of this, just don't. Like, like it's okay.
It's okay. I already got punished.
Yeah, we're fine. Okay, yeah, that's it. Bye.
Amazing. There was some vocabulary in there that I don't quite understand. Was that? Yeah, what's sus? Ah, got it. Cool. I mean, I'm old, so, you know. Okay. Ooh, sorry. While we keep waiting for Bella's story, let's just, like, keep it rolling, shall we? Who's next? Oh, I know this person. Our next storyteller, welcome to the stage, the much shorter Kestrel Warner.
Yes, Kestrel. She already conquered the podium.
I am much shorter. And I'm wearing 2-inch platforms. No, it's fine. It's fine. No. I want to hold it. Do this. Like stand-up comedy. Oh, okay, my time started. Yeah, go. Please, I want those 3 seconds. All right. Okay, go.
Just be aware that this is here, okay? Just be careful, because, yeah, be careful of that.
Anything else? Okay. So I'm going to tell a story about something that happened in middle school because, you know, we all love thinking about middle school. Like, time of our life. I'm going to change a name around because person goes here, but we're not going to talk about that. So I'm going to tell a story about walking at night and why I don't do that anymore. Essentially, it was the summer between 7th and 8th grade, and I was here with my friend. We're going to call her Samantha. I was there with Sam, and we decided to go for a walk in the middle of the night because that's just how you do it. You know, that's just how it be. And I do this frequently. I would go out on walks at like 1 or 2 a.m. It was really tranquil. My neighborhood is on a hill, just to give you a little picture of what the terrain is going to be for this adventure. And my neighborhood is on a really steep hill. And there's my house, and then there's Flavel. Some of you might know Flavel runs into the street that I am. And there's this big hill, and there's a church, and then this weird ledge. It's like a street is split in two, and here's like the bottom street, and there's just like this ledge. It's super weird, and it's like this ramp down there, and skaters love it, and I don't love skaters, and so I don't love that ledge. And so we decided to go out on this long walk. It's like 1:30 a.m. I don't remember the date. I don't remember what I was wearing. I do remember it was a quarter moon, so you can imagine my steep street is paved in pale moonlight. There are like 3 street lamps. It's kind of dark. It's a little ominous. We decide to go walking. And we're sitting and we have our legs kind of dangling off the side of this ledge. And it's out there. It's like 2:20. We've been sitting there for a while. We've been talking. And suddenly, across the street, a car comes into the church parking lot. And it turns on its headlights. And we're right across on this ledge, right across from this sort of raised parking lot of this church. And so the headlights flash on us, just stark white, just blinding. And my friend gets up. She gets up real fast. And I'm just sitting down because I'm like, oh, maybe they didn't see us, even though the headlights are directly on us. And she's like, Kestrel, we gotta go. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? And in that moment, the car just screeches in a U-turn. It just screeches out of the parking lot, and it comes and it takes a left turn and it's heading right towards us. And I'm like, oh, okay, we do have to go, like, come on. And so we get up, and she's running, and I'm running, and she has a hold on my arm, and we're just running, and the car just keeps coming, and I look back, and I see it's a white sedan with tinted windows. And you know what that means. For 2 13-year-old girls out in the middle of the night. You know what that means. So we're running, we are booking it, and we slide under a car of a street down of my neighbor's house. And we're not really sliding, but we kind of scramble under there like you do when you're 13. And so we scramble under there, and we're just super quiet, and we're shaking like this, And we hear the white sedan roll up. In my streets, it's Portland, so the streets are kind of gravelly. They suck. There are potholes. And so you can hear it. We're laying on the cold concrete, terrified, at 3 a.m. And this white sedan with tinted windows rolls over the gravel and rolls to a stop. And the car door opens, and we hear feet hit the ground. And it walks around the person who I got in trouble with, who I will never know who it is, and it gets back in the car, and the car door closes, and the white sedan rolls off, and we get up after 5 minutes of laying on that cement, and we run home. And now I don't walk at night anymore. Thanks, Maureen.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so there's a microphone stand over there, but there's not enough microphone cord for me to get there. So I have a question. How many of you hold on. Hold on. Okay, so how many of you just half peed your pants when that car showed up? That's creepy as hell. Okay, how about, wait. Okay, psst. Do you want to know who our next storyteller is? Yeah. Psst. Hey, over on the table, do y'all want to know who the next storyteller is?
Maybe.
I do. No? Okay. Hold on. Oh, this guy. Welcome to the stage, my good friend, Ivan. Where'd he go? Is he here? Oh, there he is. He's coming. He's way back there. Next year we need like WWF style walk-up music. What?
All right. I'm gonna just hold it. You look beautiful. All right.
Just a second.
What's good?
It's in my way. I'm sorry.
I'm low-key shaking. My heart is fast. I'm a slow
That's the
person. All right. All right. So, to be honest, I have a love-hate relationship with peer pressure. See, just right now, I was peer pressured into doing the story, you know what I mean? But like, let me tell you, just a couple months ago, you know, it was the good times, the hood times, you know, it was homecoming, you know, hashtag football season, it'd be like that, you know, and I mean, I'm not the best looking person, so like, I was like, shit, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna get a date? So I'm all like, I tell my bro, you know, like, yo, help me out here. How do I do this? Help me lay the Mac down right quick. You know, it'd be like that. You know, he knows, he probably knew like it was for the better. Like I had nothing better to do. So he tells me, you know, he tells me my favorite words because he knows. He's like, you don't gotta move, right? I'm like, nah. So he tells me 2 best words in my life. Let's drink. So yeah, so we had it all set up. I mean, it was like a week prior to the dance, and I was just like, all right, I'm ready. You know, it's cool, it's all good. And I remember the day I stayed late after school, cause I was doing. Y'all ever see the Aztec calendar? I did that. I cut it out, pasted it, and everything. It's cool. Yeah, I stayed back with my wife Ashley, and and that. You know, we were doing the damn thing, you heard, and so then my brother pulls up, and I'm all like, I bet, let's go do this. You know, I'm ready. I'm always down for whatever. And I get home, I tell my dad, can I get like $20? Like, you know, what if there's entrance fee? I know what I was doing with those $20. I put on my best shirt, cause like throwback to like a couple months ago, I used to drink all the time in the same green and blue button-up shirt. I look fly all the time. Can't deny that. And sorry, by the way, I'm a little sicky. So yeah, so I'm chilling with my bro in the car, and we're like, you know, we got all the bangers playing, some 50 Cent, all that, yeah. You know, in the club it'd be. And then, you know, we link up with the O-Dog, cause like, you know, we're not gonna be alone. It's like, I mean, it's a dance, so like, if everybody else is gonna have fun, I might as well have fun with other people. I'm not gonna be a loser, like drinking alone. Lame. So like, yeah, I go out, we pick up the O-Dog, talk about some really dumb stuff, like beating people up. I don't know, something about being homeless, it was really weird. You know, our conversations, like, man, they're off the map. I'm trying to carefully. Well, eventually, I'm all like, all right, cool, so we're probably gonna kick it at Rocky, like all the tweakers be doing, you know, just like, I don't know, Cuddy. Rocky's the spot. And so I'm all like, all right, say less. But then the cousin's all like, yo, there's this little party thing. Well, not really a party. It was a house thing at first, but I'm gonna get to that. So he's all like, yeah, there's an open house. We could go down there, around there. I was like, all right, then say less. And we go. We're having a good time at first, because we went to the smoke shop on Calizzi, you know. Oh, and we picked up the Smurfy Lows too. We were all active, and so yeah, we had the McNuts, the steel nuts, the old nuts, everything, and yeah. Oh yeah, my bad. We talk funny. It's like, it's not even code language. We're just stupid. But anyways, we're having the time of our lives. Like we get to that one fool's pad. I don't even know him, but like we're watching Family Guy, like straight up, like episodes and episodes. Oh, we were also there with the other Cuddy, but I'd rather keep his name silent because that's our business. Yeah, so we were watching Family Guy, you know, just kicking back in the living room, like sitting back. We're like, I'm not a bitch, so I take chugs, so like I'm not, you know. Don't worry, guys, I've changed my ways since then. But no, I'm like, y'all think I'm fake. I'm doing good. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, we're just all having it, you know. And then my brother had to leave, right? And so like I don't really like being around other people without him, because like you know, like you just got somebody who with like safe zone, whatever. That's your cuddy. So he was staying with me, and I just felt like awkward and scared like the whole time because I was already like a little buzzed. And then we step outside for like a cigaroni because we're two down Tonys, and that's how we get down with some bologna, you know. And so we're out there just doing our own thing and shit. And this car, scary car, just pulls up all slow, and the lights is on, which is weird because if you're gonna pull up slow, like turn off the lights, look menacing. But nah, they didn't do that. They cause see, we were all scared. We were like, oh shit, bro, your parents are home. It wasn't their parents. It turned out to be their homies who brought more drinks, and we were there. And oh my God, I gotta tell you, I don't understand how so many people ended up there, because at one point, like, I went back in the house. I was watching Family Guy. I went to the bathroom. I came out, and the kitchen was full of people drinking tequila. I swear, that was the weirdest thing in the world. So yeah, we're just having our good time. And like, I know you guys get down with the shits too, so I know, like, you know, when you're getting drunk, you start feeling yourself get like faded, you starting to black out and shit. That was me. I can't, cause I'm very aware of myself when I do that. That's scary. That's why I don't do that no more. It's spooky. Anyways, so yeah, so I'm like, all right, well, I'm losing my consciousness. I might as well just go harder and lose it completely. Around that time, my memory gets hazy though, being in the kitchen taking shots all weird and shit. It's funny, there was like 4 people named Eric by the end of the night there. So weird. I think they were all like a different race too. I don't know. Such a diverse name. And we're just, yeah, so, you know, so like I said, my mind gets hazy. I can remember little bits, like waking up. Like I remember barely being able to chew like a Wendy's 4 for $4 burger, you know. that shit was cool. And I can remember going up Rocky Butte, like, you know, like I thought that was the plan, Stan. We didn't do that. But, you know, I remember going up there, then coming down. And like, I think, you know, I think we did another stop, but shit, that's lucky personal. Okay, yeah. So I remember though, the last stop was Sacktown over there. It's right up the street from my house. A terrible idea to park because honestly we were drunk as fuck, so we just ended up sleeping in the car with it on. And like, it's like 2 a.m. at this point, and like, shit, I remember this too. My mom and my dad came in their car. They were looking around. They just turned in. I remember seeing them through the window, like the rear, like the side mirror. Oof, scary, but I couldn't move. I was like, And yeah, I remember my brother, he got out of the car, and my dad tried to get to him, but he was all like weird about it. He was like, no, I don't want to go home. And he's all like, you gotta go home. He's like, I don't want to. I was scared of it. And me, I had to be obedient, you know. This is my family here, like, shit, they're like, get in the car. I was like, yes, sir. I was in no position to deny my parents at that point. You know, that the day after was my cousin's quinceañera. So the thing is, like, we were planning, like, oh yeah, we're just gonna leave it early, go get drunk. But that didn't happen because I was grounded. You know, I guess in the end, my mom was sad, my dad was mad, I was rad. Everything worked out, kind of. I mean, I got like my punishment. You do the crime, you do the time. And don't drink, it's not even for it.
The moral of the story is, thank you for providing us with the moral. Don't drink. It's not for it. Hey, y'all, I am noticing that we have a little bit of a proclivity towards the chattiness. Let's make sure that we're giving our storytellers our undivided attention, especially if you're in Mr. Callie's 4th period class. I eschewed my fishbowl because we are down to our current last storyteller. And it would be the one name that's the most difficult to pronounce. Can we welcome to the stage, AKA Slavic? I don't know the whole thing, I can't do it. I just know the AKA. I've never had this student before. Is this you? Come on, let's do it. But before you tell your story, come on. Do you want the stand? We can get that back for you. Okay, cool. So you gotta help me out here. How do I say your name?
Vyacheslav.
Vyacheslav. Cool. All right, you ready to tell your story?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna leave now.
Good.
Yes. You are.
So first, I would like to say excuse me for my accent. If I'll try to do my best. Although I was born in Russia, I am an Armenian. My father looks like an Armenian, but quite frankly, I do not look like an Armenian. So I was going to school in Russia, in elementary school, and I heard one person say to me, "You are Armenians, you deserve to be beaten up." And so I got multiple threats from people, and some people did really beat me up. So I told my teacher, and the teacher replied, "Give change." That means fight back. So I fought back, but my attempts to quench hate by hate failed. Therefore, I started loving the bullies who bullied me. I started loving those who hate me. And I learned that love overcomes hate. I learned that hatred begets hatred. And so only love overcomes hate. After a short while, my family moved to United States of America. And in the United States of America, I went to a middle school. And in middle school, I was bullied too. But I overcame bullying system by loving those who bullied me. It is important to love your neighbor as yourself, for love works no ill to his neighbor. Therefore, love is a fulfillment of the law. Yes, sometimes I felt very offended. So I got my glasses broken 2 times. I got punched in the face, in the stomach. Yeah, but I didn't fight back. And I learned that love changes hearts. I learned that love overcomes hate. And right now I'm a new person. I don't fight back. And I'm committed to society, to helping the society. And after that instance, subsequently I did not face any difficult challenges with people. People admire my determination and willingness to push myself to achieve my very high standards. Today I want to help people who are suffering emotional pain and physical pain. After school on Monday and Thursday and all day Saturday, I transport and escort patients throughout Adventist Medical Center. When I'm with patients, I talk to them to ease their emotional pain. But it is not the case for every patient, and I take it into consideration. I do my best to leave a great impression on the people, and to show them that they're valued, that someone cares for them even after they wave goodbye to their doctor. So thus I dedicate myself to helping the society, and I prepare myself for a future career in nursing.
Man. Vyacheslav, how about that guy? That was like a good little note to end on, yeah? Okay. So, that was our last storyteller, but I got a couple things to tell you. First of all, our judges are finishing up their little tallying of scores, and then our math genii over there, that's the plural for genius, if you didn't know that. They're gonna do all their little tabulations. For all of us, how many of us had a great time at this little event? Yeah? I like that we're raising our hands. Usually we snap or clap or whatever. Oh, except for Bella, because Bella was like, nah, this is dumb. Somebody sign me up. Are we gonna get a Bella story? What? Surprise! Okay.
I don't have a story. I'll just wing it. It's fine.
Okay, cool. Bella's gonna tell us the story.
Yeah.
Holla!
Okay. What? I love you too. Just tell a story. I don't know where you are. So when I was maybe 8 or 9, I go to Florida to see my grandparents, and it was 1 a.m, and I had nothing to do, so I decided to make a beach in the living room, which I did. I thought I was the coolest kid ever, and so I thought I was like a spy or something, and I went to my grandma's closet, which was a walk-in closet, and I did like, I don't know, I just stole her clothes, and I put it on the ground to make a beach, and so my grandma wakes up, and she yells at me, and then, yeah, I'm so happy I came up here. This was my story.
What about the story when you killed your cat?
Tell them where your spoons got stolen.
Which one? I don't.
No cat is better than a cat.
The cat? You want to hear the cat? Okay, so when I was little, not really little, I was old enough not to do this. So we had dogs. We never really had cats. I'm getting so hot. Anyway, so we always had dogs. We never had cats, and I wanted a cat. And so me and my mom, we went to get a cat. We got a really old cat, so like at this point, it didn't really matter. We had it for a good week, 6 days, 5 days, and we had a dog at the time. She was 3 legs. It doesn't matter, but she had 3 legs. It was really cool. And the cat wasn't like eating or anything, and I thought it was because she was lonely. So I had an idea that I wanted the dog and the cat to be friends, which isn't the best combination. So I had my mom hold the cat. I don't know if she knew what I was doing, but I had the dog, and the dog bit my cat and died. So yeah, that's my story. How'd the dog die? It didn't die. The cat died in my mom's hands.
You guys, you killed a cat.
It was on accident. Well,
You wanted that cat out.
You guys.
it was old. It was gonna die anyway. Like it wasn't eating, wasn't drinking, so.
So here's the logic of this story. That when things are old and they're gonna die anyway, you should kill them. Please don't do that. Please. The moral of that story is no. Okay? I'm older than you. Please don't kill me. Hey, so mad props to Bella for getting signed up and still showing up. If you want more of this, there is going to be a citywide story slam for all of, I think, PPS high schools. 6 high schools. The event is free. It is on March 1st at the newly redesigned Franklin High School. So you can show up there and hear a whole bunch more stories like this. If you're like super into the slam format and you're like, oh man, I love hearing people stand on stage and talk. Especially people who don't look like this guy. Come to the Madison, the 11th annual Madison Poetry Slam. The Poetry Slam is happening on April 12th during National Poetry Month. That's also going to happen here in the library. That one happens after school. It'll be super fun. If you are a fan of other types of performance, High School Musical is like opening tonight. Come to that. $8 with your student ID. Doors open at 7 o'clock. The show's at 7, right? Doors open at 6:30. Duh. I got bad information. Whoa! Don't leave, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave. For 2 reasons you cannot leave. Reason number 1 is we haven't announced the winners yet. You want to know who won. And reason number 2 is Oh yeah, you did 2 stories? Cool. Hey, if you're a storyteller, can we like come up here and do a little picture real quick? Oh, you count. You count. Come on. And then if we still, hey, check this out. If we still have time after this cute little group picture, maybe I'll tell you a story about the time I got in trouble. We'll see.
Are we standing up on the stage?
Oh, good God, this thing. Oh,
Get
God.
on the stage. Okay.
Wait, is he
Ty's taking the picture.
No, wait, but what about the other
Oh, no, NASA. I mean, I love you, bro. Oh, Yvonne's coming. One more. Yvonne wasn't here. Okay, math folks, how are we looking over there?
Okay, tell me your story.
No? Okay. All right, cool. So, friends, hi. How's it going? So you get like an impromptu story. So remember how I told you that our young friends have been working tirelessly.
No.
Hold on, we'll get there. Okay, thanks. Cool. Wonder who brought those kids. Yeah. Our friends worked tirelessly to tell their stories. They were like wrote and rewrote and drafted and performed and all that. So this one, not so much. Seriously.
It's not me. I was not even talking.
I don't care who it is. It's just got to stop.
I can't stop.
So, back when I was in college, which was like maybe, a couple years ago, I went to my very first concert ever. My very first concert ever was irrelevant, but it happened at the Gorge. Like, it's old people music. It was Dave Matthews Band, but like, you gotta like Dave when you're in college, right? Everybody likes Dave. So when I was in college, I went to go see Dave at the Gorge, and I went with my girlfriend at the time. And my girlfriend at the time, her name was Autumn. And we... Come on now. So, Autumn and I, if you've never been to the Gorge, it's like this beautiful outdoor amphitheater. It looks over the Columbia River, I think. And so we're sitting like way up on the hill. And if this is our seat, me and my little friend Autumn, there's a path that walks maybe 10 feet in front of us. 10 foot wide, it's a concrete path. The whole time people are walking down this path to get to concessions. We're sitting there listening to music and enjoying the marvelousness that is Dave. About halfway through, wait, quick thing. If you don't know where the Gorge is, it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. Right? We went to school in Tacoma. It took us maybe 2-3 hours to drive to the Gorge, me and Autumn. And so I was sitting there and enjoying my concert, and maybe halfway through the concert, I see strolling in front of me a girl by the name of Leslie. If you don't know this, Leslie is my wife now. She was not my wife then. Then she was just my friend in college. A quick little backstory. Leslie had just returned from spending a semester studying in Trinidad. So I hadn't seen her in maybe 5 months. And we were like really good friends when she left. We lived in the same dorm our freshman and our sophomore year. And I desperately missed my friend. And so when I saw her walking in front of me, I did the smoothest thing that a young man ever could have done. I jumped out of my seat next to my girlfriend Autumn, and ran down to go hug Leslie and say, "Oh my goodness, I haven't seen you in forever." The story gets better. Leslie, rather than just hugging my friend and like walking back to my seat, I hugged my friend and we kept walking down the path, leaving Autumn sitting in our seats. We walked down, we spent maybe 20 minutes walking around, getting some snacks, enjoying music, and then we walked back up the hill together, and this is like, I was so stupid. So we walked back up the hill, me and Leslie, we returned up the hill, and then at our seat, again, I was like, oh, this is where I'm at. I gave Leslie another hug and went and sat down next to Autumn and had like 3 more hours of concert and 3 hours of driving home to process through what had just happened. Needless to say, it was very awkward. But it all works out in the end because I'm married to Leslie and I don't know what Autumn's doing with herself. So, yeah, it's cool. We good? The numbers, we got results. Oh, cool. We did it?
So we're going to do first, second, and third, like that.
3, 2, 1. Okay, cool. Hey, I have the results here, and when we're gonna like call up our top 3, we got prizes for you. It's gonna be so much fun. But first, can we just give like a honorary mention with a score of smiley face, smiley face, smiley face, smiley face, really big smiley face, sideways smiley face, and infinity place to Bella. Good job. Honorary mention. I just really love the scoreline. Hey, so third place goes to our dancing troublemaker, Duncan. You're a prize. You're like coming to get a prize. Hey, Duncan. It's in a bag. Everything is better when it comes in a bag. Second place goes to Anna Cabello. Yay, Anna! Woo! And first place and a spot in the Citywide Story Slam is for our lovely friend, Kestrel Warner, who may or may not be super thrilled about this. Look, she's walking super slowly. Here she comes, Miss America. Hey, what's up? Wait, hold on. No, that was after. All right, smile, there's another picture. You got it? Cool. Okay. Hey, so you 3, come here real quick. Yeah, up here. It's cool. Thanks. Yeah.
I like you.
Hey, look, me and Duncan are friends now. Okay, Duncan.
Yo, what's up?
We're gonna get like just a little bit more closer, a little bit of close up on these people. Okay, cool. So, Duncan.
Yeah.
You went to school in Michigan.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
And now you go to school in Portland.
Yeah.
Who has better snow, Portland or Michigan?
I mean, the quality of the snow, I would have to say Michigan, but the rate in which I like the snow, I would say Portland.
Why do you like Portland snow better? I would guess because we cancel school for snow and Michigan is
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Whatever,
Yeah.
we do this every year. Okay, cool,
That's a
I'm
good
gonna
one.
go talk to Anna.
All right, cool.
Hi, Anna.
Hi.
Hey, Anna.
Yes, that's me.
You're like in the Eco Club, yeah?
Yeah, I am. Yep. Yeah.
How come you didn't tell a story about Eco Club?
Do you want an honest answer?
Yeah.
I told a story that I thought would give me the best result, and that was that would get me a prize. I mean, like like.
Also, have you ever been in trouble in Eco Club?
Yeah, sometimes I forget to go, and it's kind of important because I'm the secretary. So it's like, it's a day where like we didn't have school before, and so we're not sure if we need to talk of anything. So I kind of forget, but like, yeah.
All right. Holla at Miss House.
Yeah.
Hi, Kestrel.
Hello, Maurice.
Hey, I'm grateful that you called me by my first name.
You're welcome.
Cool. Shoot, what are we gonna talk about?
I don't know.
Is this like the first time you ever won something at Madison?
No.
It's funny that she laughs because I knew the answer to that. What did you win before?
I won the freshman poetry slam. I placed second in the poetry slam in my freshman year, and I won the school-wide poetry slam last year.
Okay.
Yeah, you swore you weren't gonna win that.
I got thugged into this. I got thugged into this.
All right, cool. Quick question.
Oh.
How do you accidentally win things when you're so short?
I wear platforms, so.
Got it. Also,
I'm
height
cheating.
cheating. Also, like height has nothing to do with any of the things that you do. Yeah.
That's debatable.
Cool.